And you know, it's funny. We oh dear.
I was gonna
Oh dear. Okay.
I was gonna say something good here. Oh, actually, there's another question too. When you go ahead, do your oh dear.
Okay,
first.
I gotta say something first though. We have had comments like, well, you'll never get a $3 million loan.
Oh yeah.
Please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we put up new videos. Hello, I am Tara, the author of the Dining on a Dime cookbook, where you can eat better, spend less. We have a new hardcover with full color pictures and over 1,200 recipes and tips to help you save money on your grocery bill. Check it out at livingonadime.com. Well, you'd never be able to buy a place like that. Well, you'd never be able to run a place like that.
That is why you fail.
Say it louder.
That's why you fail.
That is why you don't have money and I do.
I was trying to quote Yoda, but my Yoda voice is a little off.
I'm sorry. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but the thing is, when we were paying off our house and getting completely debt-free, including our house, we kept telling people, yeah, we're going to pay off our house. We're going to get our, oh, you'll never be able to do that. The economy's too bad. You can't do that. Oh, I'd never be able to pay off my debt. I'm going to go to my grave with the house payment.
Well, actually, sorry, can I interrupt?
Go ahead.
It's a sidetrack, so maybe I shouldn't interrupt. I was just going to say, you know, Ellie and I went to Ireland in 2017, and I realized it's a lot less expensive than I imagined. And it's a lot less expensive than probably most people imagine.
And a lot easier to do.
And a lot easier to do. But I see people all the time posting on these groups that I follow online about Ireland. Oh, I would love to do that, but I'll never be able to do it. And I was thinking, if you say you'll never be able to do it, you won't ever be able to do it. You have to say, man, how could I do that? And because in that case, we found out we went for such a low price. Ellie and I, my daughter and me. Our daughter and me, and I just think it's coming from this place of how can we make that happen. And in this case, it would be difficult if we were trying to figure out how to get $3 million just to live there. But it's not really that difficult to figure out, since we already know how to do a business. How can we make this business work so that we can afford it? And because of what we've already been telling everyone out here. We would probably pay it off fairly quickly. And then it would be, much better as a business. And we would suddenly have elevated ourselves completely into a different place that we really would like to be. Because, it's funny, we're not that crazy. I think we're fairly content with the things that we have. There's not really anything that we say, man, I really would like to have that. But in terms of the place, it would be kind of a wonderful kind of environment, I think. And that would be worth it for us. So
my point is, it absolutely amazes me the amount of negative people who just won't even try or won't even think about trying to do something like that, or won't even
I was thinking of my Yoda impression. I was trying to envision if I could make it work.
Won't even see if it's possible for them to be able to do something like this. I mean, look at 5 years ago, the whole world did you see what I just did there?
I did.
The whole world would have the whole world was laughing their pants off that he would even run for president. One of the most successful businessmen in the entire world. Everybody was laughing at him for even trying to be president. And now he's one of the absolute best presidents we've ever had in our history. One of the best. And here's the thing. It's that kind of negative thinking, that kind of someone has to do something for me. Someone has to pay my medical. Someone has to pay me a stimulus check because I wasn't responsible and I was in debt up to my eyeballs and didn't have savings. When our son needed well, my son and I both, when we needed $30,000 for medical bills for, it was like a year, 18 months, somewhere around there. We had to take our son and pay cash to get him medical treatment because the Obamacare has completely slaughtered our medical system here. We paid cash to go get medical treatment for our son when he was horribly sick. We didn't say, what are we going to do? It's $30,000. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do. Well, I wish the government would pay for my medical expense. No.
They wouldn't have paid for that.
They wouldn't have paid for it, and we had to figure out how to do it. And guess what? We figured out how to do it. And not only did we not have zero debt, we paid cash up front for it because we figured out a way to do it. And it absolutely, sorry, are you having to delete too many things?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I was trying to think of something, but I don't.
And it is this negative attitude and this attitude that you're not going to be able to do anything for yourself that keeps you in the hole, that keeps you from moving forward, that keeps you from getting out of debt, that keeps you from getting the house you want. And I totally understand. There are some situations where, you maybe have some sort of illness or something like that, and it's not possible for you to buy a $3 million property. But maybe you could start thinking of some way where you could work around your illness and figure out a business to start paying for those kinds of things, or just maybe in general improve your life situation a little bit. This is something that just absolutely aggravates me to no end, and I delete every comment. My assistant deletes every comment that's like this. But you have got to stop saying it's not possible for me to buy a $3 million property. Well, it is possible. And you just have to figure out if you're going to do it or not. And it's okay if you should decide not to do it.
Yeah, if you don't care, then that's the thing. I for a while I tried to follow, I forgot what his name is, who tries to teach you how to motivate yourself to do other things.
Who? Tony Robbins?
Tony Robbins. And
I don't like him.
I tried to kind of follow him back in the days when we were we weren't making any money and things, and I was thinking I've got to motivate myself somehow, and I was listening and I was finding it pretty motivational until he got to a point where you really had to focus on some object that you wanted really badly, and I realized, well, I'd like our situation to be better, but I can't think of a thing like a car or whatever, and I realized I was struggling with that. So it's okay to be content. It's just we're always trying to think of how can we improve things and be more efficient and more, what I guess I'm saying is when Tara said if you don't want something like that, then it's not your thing, and that's cool. But what I would say,
fine.
But I would say people that, like the people that own it, well, the people that own it now, I guess their family started it, but people that own businesses like that, they had to take risk and take a chance. And some people want to do that and some don't. And if you want to and you do, then it's risky and scary. But if you do it right, it's not that scary. And then you might end up in a place that you wanted to be better than where you are. And just for anyone who's out there saying, I'm not really sure about all that, we came from a place of not really having anything and nobody that we could ask for those things, especially Tara. And so if you've been following us, if you haven't been following us for a while, you should go back and watch some of our videos where we talk about some of the old days, because we've come from a place of having virtually no money, having no refrigerator in the house. Tara grew up in a house where they had to live in one room because they just couldn't afford it. They had to live in one room in the winter to have heat. And so it's not like we're saying it because we don't understand what it's like to be in a difficult situation like that. But the thing is, language is really important. And if you say, I'll never do that, I'll never be able to do that, you've basically decided I'm not going to do it. But if you say, man, I really wish I could do that, I wonder if I could do that, how can I do that? Then your brain starts thinking about it, and yeah, you might say, well, I'm living in a really, kind of nasty area in a bad apartment. I don't like where I'm living. And you might think, I really want to have a cabana in Italy or something. And you might think, that's a long jump. I'll never be able to do that. Well, instead of thinking I'll never be able to do that, just think, man, how can I make this situation just a little bit better than it is? And it's funny because taking those little steps one by one, you realize you can do a lot more than you think you can. And if you leave it up to someone else to do that for you, because a lot of people say, I wish somebody would just help me do that. Or most of the time, those people don't care about you, especially if it's the government. And so if you can get it in your own mind, man, how can I improve this situation? Then your brain will start thinking about it, and you'll start thinking of ways to improve things, and you'll be much, much happier in the end. And it doesn't mean you have to have a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of people are content with a certain thing, but they're always thinking, how can I be productive and create things and be useful and feel good about what I'm doing in life. So.
Well, I got one more thing to say.
Please.
And I'm really going to get hit on the head with this one, but I got to say it. So what would the rate of inflation, if something was $2,500 10 years ago and it's $10,000 now, what would the rate of inflation, what would that be?
Well, it would be 400%.
Okay, 400%. So let me tell you, for those of you who don't agree with our current president, I just want to say, think about this. First of all, I am voting for a platform. I'm voting for what is right, and I'm voting to keep evil out of the White House. But here's the thing. When it comes to medical care, a lot of people say, oh, I'm voting because medical care it's the biggest problem in the world. When Obamacare came in, he had a routine procedure done that was $2,500 10 years ago. The rate of inflation is 2.3%. That same routine procedure cost him $10,000. There is squat that is affordable about that. Our insurance went from $400 a month
and we had
with a $1,500 deductible for the year for the entire family to $1,500 a month with a $9,000 deductible per person. There is nothing affordable about that.
Well, basically, and it was legally required that we pay for it. So for a very short amount of time, we were paying half of our income for something we absolutely knew there was a 100% chance we were never going to use it. Okay,
and
a 99% chance we were never going to use it.
And then what happened? We went to sign up for the
we
tax
felt like
credits.
it was taken away from what we had worked for, was taken away from us, and we were forced to pay for nothing.
Exactly.
So.
And then we went to go sign up for the tax credits, and guess what happened? They want to give us the tax credit to buy our own insurance. We had to go on Medicaid, and we got stuck on Medicaid, and we could not get off.
They signed us up for it without our permission.
Without our permission, they signed us up, and they would not allow us to do it. And let me tell you, that medical care is horrid. I know there are some people that are going to say, I'm on Medicaid and I get the best treatment ever. But let me tell you, it is not. We had one kid that we took to the dentist. The dentist conveniently found 11 cavities. When we went to a real dentist, he found 3. So, I'm telling you, I am voting just to get some hope for medical care. And that whole pre-existing thing, that the Republican Party has never ever said they were going to take away the pre-existing clause where you could do that. That is totally fine. They keep saying that they're going to redo it so that you can do that. And here's the thing. So far, a lot of the stuff that Trump has said he's going to do, he has done. And he has said what he's going to do. And so, I know people say, oh, you shouldn't talk politics. But let me tell you, as a Christian, I am standing up for what is right. And I am not going to vote for what is evil. And if it is just the abortion thing alone, which is absolutely disgustingly sick, if it is that alone, I would do it. Thank you. Now, if you would like to add me to the ballot, you may. No, but seriously, guys, if you are a Christian, you need to pray and seriously ask God to show you who to vote for. Because as Christians, we need to stand up for what is right. And we need to stand up for we need to stand up against evil. There is a reason why people are clamoring, trying to get into our country, because it's a great country. You don't see anybody clamoring to get into Venezuela. Why Rosie O'Donnell, Whoopi Goldberg, all these other people who hate America and said if Trump was going to get elected, they were leaving. Why are they still here? Because they know darn tootin' well this is the best country and the freest, one of the freest countries in the world. So, yep, you can say you don't want to discuss politics, but as Christians, I feel like we have to stand up and take a stand for what is right and vote against evil. And that's all I got to say about that. Now what do we do?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, guys, but you know, I just really, I know people are going to say, this is not the platform for that. Oh, politics, blah, blah, blah. You know, we don't sit there and just argue politics with people. But, you know, we have a platform and we feel like we really need to stand up for what is right. And so that is what we are doing. And that is where we are fighting. We are fighting for our freedoms. And so, yeah. So anyway, sorry if you were having to hit a lot of delete.
No, it wasn't too bad.
Okay. All right. So any last questions, guys? Let's see. What are we doing? And here's the thing. If Trump does lose, Trump is not our savior. He's not our savior. He is the president of the United States. Daniel in the Bible was in an oppressive government. Esther was married to the oppressive government. Who else was in the Bible that was in an oppressive government?
Who did you say already?
Esther and Daniel and
Nehemiah.
Yeah, Nehemiah.
They actually paid for him to rebuild the wall.
So guys, he's not our savior. Our faith is not put in him, but it is our duty to fight for what is right. And that's why World War II happened, because good people did not stand up for what is right. And we have to stand up for what is right. So anyway, yeah. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Actually, you're getting... Stop saying you're sorry. These are your views. No need to apologize.
No, I'm saying I'm sorry to you for having to deal with the comments.
No, it's not that. No, I mean, some people, I won't say that everybody's agreeing, but in general, it's been a positive thing. So.
Well, and that's the thing, guys. It's okay to disagree. But I will tell you, if you are a Christian and you are voting for people who approve abortion, you are seriously disillusioned, and you need to have some prayers with the Lord about that, because murder is not okay. And as Christians, we are commanded to fight for those who are unable to fight for themselves.